payroll section for the Michigan Student Caucus. Our guest speaker tonight is Professor Greg Marcus, and he's going to answer any questions you may have about the specific topic. We're going to try and keep it as open and he'll do his very best. We're going to try and keep it as open and fluid as possible. So the floor is really yours, guys. If you have anything you want to ask him, please do so. I'm going to help facilitate the discussion a little bit, and I have a couple of questions of my own that will sort of try and help keep it more fluid. With that said, there's also a sign-up sheet going along. Does anyone who has it right now? All right, make sure you sign in too. And with that, let's get started. Does anyone have a question to start off with? Someone start us off with one question.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Why are good evening. I'm Greg Marcus. I'm a professor of political science. I recognize a few people from Poli-Sci 327, urban politics class I teach right now. Is there anyone who's been in my Poli-Sci 300 class or urban politics class? So, and are we still friends? Is everything okay? All right, okay. I've been here at the University of Michigan since 1970. 5 years as a graduate student. I got my PhD here in political science in 1975. I've been on the faculty here ever since. In addition, with a kind of a focus primarily in citizen politics, political participation, and the last 15 years or so, urban politics. I lived for a brief, 3 or 4 years or so, actually at the time of the last big depression here in Michigan in the early to mid 1980s. I lived in Genesee County in Fenton, Michigan, and was on the city council there, ran for city council, was elected, served on council there for a number of years. So I've got some practical experience, particularly in local politics, some in state politics. I consulted with McKinsey & Company, which is a large private sector consulting firm, works primarily in the corporate sector, but increasingly has a role in nonprofit organizations and state and national and international government. Most of my work there was on business strategy, process and product innovation, and customer orientation. That actually fits pretty well with my political science background because, as I say, a lot of that background is focused on ordinary people, citizens, political participation, local politics, and my orientation in the private sector is again on ordinary people, regular folks, whether that's customers or people who interface with companies in one way or the other. I've worked with McKinsey on 3 continents, in Australia, North America, and Europe. So I've had some exposure to, and my wife ran a small business, private business, a dance company and a nonprofit dance performing company here, based here in Ann Arbor. For 35 years, started out with 4 students, ended up with average semester class of about 350 students. Was the largest studio here, actually in Southeast Michigan. She retired from that and is enjoying retirement. And I hope to enjoy retirement with her in the not too long future. So that's me. I've had some mixes of experience and things. I do not pretend to be the leading expert or even a leading expert on urban economic development, which is kind of the topic, or state development and so forth. But maybe I've got something to add, and you all, this is the focus of your class, so you surely have something to add. So for the next, I guess, 45 minutes or so, let's just have a conversation. I mean, it's too late in the day for me to kind of dwell on formalities and things. There's pieces going around. It's already been scarfed up. I made sure that I got 2 pieces to keep me fueled here. So, why are you in this course? What are you interested in? What are your ideas? How do you expect to accomplish anything if you're all also shy. I mean, it's got something to do with the state of Michigan and development and the fact that we're in a terrible, how many folks are from the state of Michigan? How many folks are from Michigan? Okay, so more than half of you. From southeast Michigan, Metro Detroit, Ann Arbor area, and so forth. Not so where are the rest of you from? All the other Michiganders, where are you from?
I'm from Wally, it's northern Michigan.
Northern Michigan. Cross-country skiing and stuff up there, is it?
I'm not for me.
Not for you.
Washington, Michigan? Washington, Michigan?
Okay, so not too far from Fenton, Genesee County. Guys, look, okay, if you're too shy to even say where you're from, this is like, how do you expect to accomplish anything in the world if everybody is so, you know, man.
I'm from Los Angeles, and I guess I'm taking this class just to be a little bit more informed about this kind of stuff that goes on in Michigan.
Why?
Well, I had a bunch of buddies who took it last semester, and they said they really enjoyed it. So
Okay.
So,
Is this the first time you've met as a group together, or?
Yeah, on the orientation session, yeah.
Oh, okay. So so I shouldn't be so hard on you because it's like your first day of school or something, and so. Well, we're all here together, and we can sit and meditate for 45 minutes, or we can talk a little bit. I saw a tentative hand kind of went up somewhere around here. Robin, where are you from?
I'm from Bethesda, Maryland, right outside of Washington, D.C.
Yes, it is.
So I'll ask a question.
There you go.
During this class, we talked a lot about different ways to stimulate the economy, and a lot of people threw out many ideas, ranging from new stadiums to hybrid plants. What do you think is going to be the most effective way to fix the economy? I know it's such a broad question, but
How do you
there's
know?
so many
Well,
different
first,
ideas.
how do you
So
know
what
people
think?
have thrown out these ideas? Do you put
Because
them all
it's in our
online?
blog, people throw out different.
And put out things.
Yeah.
What of the ones you've seen? What do you think was the most kind of thoughtful, interesting, viable one?
Well,
Or
I
it doesn't have to
thought-
be the most. Oh, one that you thought was kind of thoughtful and interesting and might even work.
One that I thought was pretty interesting was that they said that perhaps moving the Pistons Stadium into Detroit would help stimulate the economy. And living near DC, the National Stadium just came in, and it really did help the economy to an extent. So I think that that could bring population to Detroit and bring some tourism activity. But that's just my opinion.
Okay. Well, it's not just your opinion. Apparently, some other people have that same goal in mind. All right. I mean, that's a proposal. It's a kind of front burner proposal. And you think that's going to save Michigan? If we can just get the damn Pistons downtown,
I don't think
everything would
it's
be
going to
fine.
save it. but
Everything
I
would
think
be
it could
fine.
help.
It would help, and a little.
I don't think anything's really going to save it.
It would
but-
add a little bit. It would be in the right direction. Yes, sir.
At least to me, I think a lot of this starts with education, and so I guess.
So yours was not the move the Pistons downtown?
I mean, I think it might stimulate some money in the area.
Yeah,
for sure,
okay,
but
maybe.
In terms of like bigger picture, I think it's education and then just throwing students from Michigan into the future future workers of Michigan. So I guess to that extent, what do you think are ideas that would both improve the education system and then get people from in Michigan to seek jobs in the area?
Are you from Michigan?
I'm from Chicago, so no.
Mike Royko, who wrote a column for many years in the Chicago Trib, I think. I don't know if you ever heard of him or anything. He in some books, collections of his weekly columns, very wonderful writer, died some years ago. There were perpetual complaints in the state of Illinois, as there are here in Michigan, in Illinois, it's kind of the downstate folks on the one hand, and Chicago on the other. And Royko was born and bred in, Chicago was just in his blood and everything. And he wrote a column where I remember, and part of it was to the folks in downstate Illinois. He said basically, look, grow up. If it weren't for Chicago, Illinois would be Iowa. Okay. Do you understand what's the point?